Well, here we are. Yet another flying level. We're at part 32 of my Haven Call of the King Let's Play. And yet again, I've sped up the flying level to try and make it a little bit more bearable. It's a little funny to watch. It's like watching a really hectic cartoon. Really hectic cartoon with lots of explosions, and that has absolutely no context and no characters, but just lots of shooting and space. Space is a very key component in this cartoon of sorts, because space is the final frontier. Final frontier is like the wild frontier, like in colonial times, when Lewis and Clark had to go western because of the Louisiana Purchase, and they wandered through the wilderness with their Native American guide Sacagawea, and she braided her hair and said, "Well, boys, we're going to go west." And then Fievel went west, and all of the Aristocats rejoiced, because they didn't have enough mice in the west. All they had was Lewis, Clark, and some Native American woman. It's a different Native American woman than the one that supposedly stands underneath Niagara Falls, because apparently there's one of those, and I guess she does magic or something. I don't know, because I myself am not a Native American. I am an American. There's nothing native about me. Except for the bold fact that I naturally come from this land. I'm not, well, it's weird that they call them naturalized citizens, people who get naturalized. Because, it makes it seem like they're more natural than people who were born here. Not saying they're not natural. People can be natural no matter who they are. You can be super fly and supernatural. Supernatural. That's a TV show, isn't it? Well, by isn't it, I mean that is a TV show. I know this for a fact because I haven't watched it, but I keep up to date on my TV. You better believe that, because I think TV is a very special medium of entertainment. And it always fascinates me how the hell people are able to make money off of television. Because you don't get a return on every episode that you make, like a movie or such. You make a movie, and then they you make a movie, and then you got a box office, and then people put money into said box office, and then people get the money from the box office. TV show, you don't have a box office. TV show, you have people just sitting down on their butts while they're eating their TV dinners. If it's in the morning, they got their Jimmy Dean. If it's late at night, they got their lean cuisine. If it's in the middle of the days, they probably got some Totino's, pizza rolls. And they're just watching television. And they're not paying anybody for that. Well, they're paying for, the television service, but they're not paying to watch a specific episode of TV. So, money comes from merchandise and syndication and stuff like that. But it's always fascinated me how somehow TV is able to keep going, despite the fact that there's not much of a return on it. There's a bunch of mines that I'm getting dangerously close to flying into. How interesting. Speaking of interesting, how about them books, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm really grasping at straws now because, I mean, okay, this flying section, I'll admit, it's different than most other flying sections because it's got mines and it's got some weird kind of Death Star in the middle. I know that's not what the Death Star looks like. I ain't a dummy. But I mean, it's Death Star-ish. It has certain Death Star features. It's like, you fill it out a little bit, you might have the foundation of a Death Star. You won't have a Death Star. I mean, I don't think a Death Star can exist without Darth Vader. I just don't think it's possible. I mean, Darth Vader, he probably has that patented or something. You know, I mean, can you patent a design for, like, a structure? What would that be? Would that be... Would it be copyrighted? Would you copyright a structure? I don't know. Man, that's weird. I feel like I should know that. But I don't know that. I mean, it's me. You guys know I love architecture. I've talked about how much I am a fan of architecture. I went very in-depth into that topic earlier on in this Let's Play. So, for me to not even know what kind of copyright laws apply to, you know, architecture, whew, it's like I'm losing my steam. I'm losing my steam. I need to take some architecture classes. This semester I'm taking math. And I mean, that's just math. I mean, who needs math? Math is just numbers. I'm taking energy with an exclamation point, so it's energy. And I mean, I'm taking that class just because it's gonna be easy. I'm taking a textual analysis class, which, I mean, it's funny that I'm taking that because I can call it sexual analysis. And that's textual analysis of monsters. So that's actually a pretty interesting class. I get to read Beowulf and John Gardner's Grendel and, you know, Dracula, Frankenstein. I think I might be getting quizzed on Buffy at some point during the semester, which is okay with me because, also, like I mentioned earlier in this Let's Play, I watched the entire series of Buffy this summer, so I think I know my Buffy just a little bit. Just an incy wincy teensy beansy kinchy chinchy boom fatanka dinka taka jumpa taka taka tumba chakada dumbarada chakada dee da bada gotta let's watch Jim Carter. Let's watch Jim Carter. Let's watch Jim Carter. Let's watch some Jim Carter. Half a loaf of kung fu is Jackie Chan's first movie. It's pretty entertaining if you ask me. No way. I don't know anymore. But look at that! That's just crazy, isn't it? It's just freaking flatter parts. Shatterhand. Shatterhand is an NES game that is a rather enjoyable play, if you ask me. I think I might actually play through Shatterhand and record it so that all of you can watch, because that's what life is all about, isn't it? Life is all about commando guys in the future who have hands that can shatter through walls and giant machines. Whereas in this video game, all we have is yo-yos that can break a few things, if you're lucky. I like Shatterhand's vision of the future better than I like Haven's vision of the future. Now, let's be fair, I think they exist in different universes, so it might not be that fair to compare the two of them, I suppose you could say, but, you know, I mean, time for comparisons is here. We're nearing the end, and it's time that I start telling you the nitty-gritty, what this game is, how I felt about it, and start comparing it to other games, because every game is basically just every other game. It's like movies. Every movie is basically just another movie, just different. That might sound weird, but, I mean, when you get down to it, there's only 30 or so dramatic situations. I don't remember the exact number on it, but, you know, you break it down, you know, you have, like, very general stuff, like betrayal, revenge, jealousy, cheating. You know, you break it down, there's only 30 or so different situations that you can use for drama. And it's actually kind of depressing to think about, especially for me as a writer. Because, you know, you write something and you can't be sure that somebody else hasn't already done it. I mean, The Simpsons have already done it, so how do I know that, you know, what I'm gonna write down hasn't already been done by some fools before? You can't know that. It's really difficult. And I've always had this, like, this burning feeling inside of me, which is that, what if I pick a certain group of words, and somebody else has already used that specific group of words? I mean, there are some that are like, I have to go to the bathroom. That's just general. If you have a character saying that, then everybody's just like, oh, he's just using the bathroom. But if, like, you pick a certain amount of words because you're trying to get something, like, interesting to say, how do you know somebody else hasn't already said it? Now, I gotta say, it's good only coming in, like, I'm here in the 21st century. We're all here in the 21st century, unless you're a time traveler. We actually got a pretty good deal, because, I mean, when you think about it, you know, 3,000 years down the line, there's going to be even less to pick from, story-wise.
There should be a transport ship at the far end of the refinery. I'll go and try and find it. You make sure the antidote gets pumped across to it. Try and find a way into the refinery. Once you're in, set the valves on the pipes to allow it to flow.
Wow, you sure have this all planned out.
What? Oh, yeah. I'm not just a pretty face, you know.
Now, are you sure you can pilot this ship?
I think I've got the basics. Now let's go.
I'll go ahead and end this video, and check out next time, guys. Thanks for watching.